Allie.
Hi, I'm Anna.
And we are going to do a Better Beader episodes on the things that you need.
Beyond thread and needle.
Beyond thread and needle. So these are the things that we find really, really essential that you may not think you need or you don't have on hand that we find are really, really helpful.
Yeah, they're not necessarily listed in a supply list, but you find them extremely helpful and you're going to use them anyway.
And they're going to save you time. So, hey, Anna, I hear you make jewelry. And
I do.
You make jewelry.
Dabble.
Guess what? I have so much broken jewelry.
I don't want to fix your broken jewelry.
Yes, you can, because you make jewelry, so you're going to fix my broken jewelry. And even if you don't normally use stretchy string, everybody knows Anna makes jewelry now, so somebody is going to ask Anna to
fix their stretchy bracelet. Yeah.
So once it's known around your circle of friends that you make jewelry, people are going to start handing you broken jewelry.
Hopefully it's not something you previously made for them.
Yes, it's just random. You're going to get all kinds of random craft jewelry and just, things that they bought at Talbot's and broke and that sort of thing. So it's always nice. These are the things to have on hand that, okay, you don't use stretchy string. Maybe you don't use it for anything. Somebody is going to ask you. So Anna has there the Bead Stopper, and we have stretchy string. We have 0.5 here, and then I would also suggest getting a 1 millimeter or 0.8 millimeter in the stretchy string.
0.8 is going to be in the middle, so it's kind of an all-purpose.
Correct, all-purpose one. And like I said, Anna makes jewelry, so Anna must repair jewelry. You will get that question, and if you want to help somebody out, go ahead and say, yeah, I have the stretchy string on hand. Chances are, charge them $5, restring it, good to go. You also may want to have, in addition to that stretchy string, this little bead stopper. Looks like Mickey Mouse there. Pull back on Mickey's ears and put it on the wire, and it'll stop your beads from falling off.
It's very handy, very handy. It's one of those tools that you think, I don't need it. My beads aren't going to fall off. I'll just hold the end. It never works out that way.
Way easier to use a little bead stopper. Good little investment. Yeah. And then also, once you're done with your stretchy string, or if you have something you want to glue inside, it's always nice to have a glue on. And I would say that out of all the glues, Loctite super glue in this gel form with this nice little applicator tip, my favorite kind of go-to. Nice to have on hand.
Yeah, and it's sort of an all-purpose thing again. Like, you could use a specific glue for something, but if you just want to have one on hand,
this
Loctite's
is the one
really
for
nice,
it.
yeah.
And it doesn't really dry out because it has that nice closable lid. You kind of click it open, and there's little things here you squeeze. It makes it easier to have and to kind of use. Also, Anna, I have this bead that I want to match, and I'm not sure exactly what size it is.
Yeah, if you don't tell me the inch measurement.
Okay.
Because that's not going to help me as a beader.
I need it to be 4 inches. I need it to be 0.28 inches.
All the beads that I buy are measured in millimeters, so I need to know millimeter size. So this comes in handy. It has an inch and a millimeter size, so
if
it's
you
easy
do
to
get that
convert.
Inch conversion.
Yeah, so
I have this bead
you
here.
told me you had a bead that was about half an inch.
Yeah, it's half an inch.
So,
I swear it's half an inch. Right there it is. It's half an inch.
Okay, so I will find you a 10 millimeter bead.
So, and then, but if you bring the caliper and you say, oh, you know what? You should measure that again.
You obviously don't know how to measure.
Exactly. So it's always nice to have the caliper on hand to measure the beads. We have a couple different options. So the plastic caliper, this one's my favorite actually. And then we also have the little digital one too.
Yeah, so the digital one, the regular calipers here that aren't digital, they will get you to the nearest millimeter, or half a millimeter if you can kind of read between the lines there. But the digital caliper will actually give you to, I don't know how far, like 0.00 something.
Millimeter.
Yeah.
So if you really want to know if it's 3.4 millimeters or 3.5, the digital is the way to go.
That will give you an exact measurement.
And when I measure these and I say, Anna, I need that bead, and you're like, oh, actually, let's measure that because it is a different size. So here is a Chaton, and I don't know the SS size. I have this on here. You can always do a Google search for that.
And do the conversion.
And I keep getting my fingerprints all over these Chatons. So, Anna, what do I need to help me to set it in that I don't get glue all over my hands, that I'm not going to kind of get in the way?
Handy dandy tool here. This is, I have one in the package too, didn't we?
You do have one in the package.
So this is the Crystal Fix.
And I'm back. This is the Crystal.
They call it the Pickup Artist is the name of it. And it has that nice little waxy tip, so it has just enough stickiness to it that it holds it, but it doesn't leave any prints. And then you put that down into whatever.
And it'll catch on to your glue.
Yep. And then if you need help holding it down and you don't want to get your fingerprints all over, it has these nice little branches on the side. Yeah, and they won't leave any fingerprints.
They won't leave any fingerprints also.
Very handy.
So there's that, and then, okay.
And it has a little scoop, which I think is super cool.
Cute.
You have a little scoop
instead
there.
of just a random end.
Yeah.
So Anna, I also have in my design here, I have a super duo bead that doesn't have the hole going the whole way through. So I'm going to curse a little bit. I'm going to raise my fists and get angry. But what helpful tools should I have on hand in order to poke the hole out of there?
Wouldn't you know, I just happen to have an awl.
You happen to have an awl. You happen to have it all. Anna's got it all.
I happen to have an awl here with this super skinny sharp point.
Don't make yourself bleed.
Yes, so I can get that hole clear there.
So if you're working with multi-hole beads, you're not going to ever have the kind of perfect, this is, every hole is there, every hole, because the coatings are done super handy. I've done a whole kind of better beater on working with this, but this tool I would say is like one of those. The other tool that is absolutely necessary, that I think is absolutely necessary in beading, is going to be, once you get the hole out and you have your thread that you're going to have, because this is beyond thread, so once I have my thread, I absolutely need a thread burner. Not only is it fun, or a thread zap. So where's the thread zap? We have it sitting there. The thread zap is actually my favorite one. I like the thread zap, the regular old thread zap the best. And same thing, it's a thread burner. You usually can get it at a craft store. You can obviously get it from us. You use them in sewing sometimes too. I go into my sweaters and actually like burn down stray threads. But you're gonna press the button, kind of do away with scissors, and you're gonna burn through the thread really simple and quick, and it's way easier than working with scissors, and you get to get really close to the design.
It cauterizes the ends so you don't have to deal with fraying. It burns it down, so so it's very anti-fray, very quick and easy, and also secures it. It kind of takes the place of also gluing it.
Correct. So you can see kind of here
so
how
it's an
gonna melt
all-in-one.
it. Yeah. Gonna melt that. It gets nice and really close to the design, and it's a nice, helpful tool to have on hand. The other thing that people kind of say, you know, what to do with, what don't you need a workable surface. And honestly, the surface we have here is not ideal. It's ideal for photography because it can be really bright. But we prefer a bead mat. Whether or not you're investing in a bead on it board, whether or not you're investing in just an inexpensive mat, make sure you have something to work on. Working on a blanket
does not work.
Tablecloth.
Or kitchen towel.
Towel. It's not easy. It is worth the $1+ investment. Yeah. And this is cut.
I don't know if you can see, but the pile on it is just different. It doesn't have like, it's not like where you would think of with a rug where it just has little pieces coming up. It's really more of like it's not even a felt. I don't know. It's its own crazy awesome material that stops your beads from rolling all over.
And you can wash it. You can also, this is a bead mat that we cut. We cut a bunch of our bead mats for classes when we teach people, or when we're working with different projects. You can kind of pick it up along the way, and even I'll put it on my bead board sometimes. And we cut it into 4 pieces, so you're getting 4 little mats that you're working with, especially if you're doing seed beads. And then last, 2 more things on our list. Again, Anna, I have something that's broken, and you make jewelry. And I'm sure you can at some point have the pliers and the tools to do this. What wire should you have on hand just in case?
Okay, so we recommend a 22 gauge round wire. I do have to specify round because you can get half round and square, and that's just not what you want unless you're doing something specialty. So you want to get a 22 gauge round. It's sort of a good all-purpose. It's thick enough that you don't have to
coil it.
Yeah, it's not too thin. It's not going to kink on you, but it's thin enough that it fits through most things. So it's a kind of a good all-around, all-purpose.
Yeah, if you don't do any wire working, you will find, again, somebody will say, hey, repair this for me, this little bead fell out this place. 22 gauge wire is that great kind of in between. You know, you have 24, ideally get 24, 22, and 20. Those are kind of the cross brand, or the cross sizes. But 22 gauge will get you really far because, again, it'll hold that loop. Anything smaller than 22, I make sure that I coil. And if you're not really into wire working, you may not feel comfortable coiling. Yeah. So 22 is kind of that good in-between size. And then
you can also use it for class, even if you do a lot of bead weaving.
Ear wires.
Ear wires, yeah. It's kind of a good all-purpose. You'll come across some use for it at some point.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Last but not
thing,
least.
because I'm repairing all this jewelry for you.
You're repairing tons of jewelry that I don't know what the size is. I don't know what it's made of.
I
It
need
has
a
blocked
little
holes.
case.
I
need a little case and a little storage case here to store all the things that I need for all this jewelry. Apparently, I'm repairing for people.
Yeah, and doing those random things. So
Yeah.
I threw this on. I threw this on here as just a little kind of in between. You know, if you need to bring your things with you, it's nice to have just a small container that you can open individual slots, pour it out if you need to, kind of scoop it up with the back of your scoop here, or the Scoopies. We should have brought a Scoopies. That's also a helpful hint. But yeah, it's just a nice kind of travel case to travel around with your beads.
Yeah, yeah. It's got plenty of storage here. So you have silver, gold, some beads, some findings.
Good for on the go in case you're moving
Couple packs of
around.
Nymo thread in there if you need to. Yeah, kind
to
of
go.
good all purpose.
And so those are the things that we think that we recommend that are beyond needles and thread that you may want to get, because you are going to have people, again, that want to make sure that you can repair their jewelry.
Yes.
That you can repair your own jewelry now. So if you have something that breaks and you only do thread and needle, that you have those options. And you will absolutely use these. So these are not things that you think, this was a waste of money. Why did I get this one-step looper? I now know how to make loops. Or why did I get, this random tool that I really don't need because I have fingers.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I look at some of these things. These are the things that are pretty inexpensive, worth the time, and will save you a lot of time and energy as a beader.
Or may save you from buying the wrong thing down the road, because you could measure it and you could find out exactly what you needed before you bought 5 things to see what worked.
And then you have to pay for return shipping because you bought the wrong size beads. Always helpful. Also, I want to stress this is free. You can Google things and make sure that you have the answers ahead of time. Google is free, so you can do that. And our website to search is free as well, too. If you do need any of these supplies, we are always happy to get them to you. Make sure also, if you want to check out some other helpful things that you can use and get, to check out our other Better Beader episodes, in which we bring you as much beading knowledge as possible. And then check out below us. We have links below us. You can't see it, Anna. You can look down, but they're not there.
I'm looking, they're not there.
We have links below us that you can shop with us online at PotomacBeads.com, as well as PotomacBeads.eu. Thanks, everybody, and happy beading, and hopefully you get beyond your needles and thread.
Happy holidays.